All right, so welcome to another deep dive, you guys. Today, we're going to be going into a popular online forum where users, they like to spin their own theories about, like, what's going on in the world, public figures, all that.
Right.
Think of it kind of like, a digital detective agency where the evidence is,
Sometimes a little creative.
yeah, let's just say creative.
One way to put it.
Yeah, so our source material today is coming from the Conspiracy subreddit on Reddit.
Okay.
Now, for those who maybe aren't familiar, like a conspiracy theory, it's basically an explanation for something that happens that involves a secret plot
Right.
by powerful people or organizations, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And Reddit, it's like a giant online community, and it's got different sections for different topics.
Mm-hmm.
And conspiracy is that's where you find some of the most interesting
Unconventional thinking.
yeah, unconventional thinking going on.
Yeah.
So the specific thread that we're diving into today is called "The Secret is Out. She's a Mortal Kombat fan." That title alone probably piqued your interest.
I mean, it definitely grabs your attention. Like, what is that about?
It's like, wait, who's a Mortal Kombat fan?
Right.
What's the secret?
Exactly.
So to kind of kick things off, the thread starts with a picture of a woman, right? She's got sunglasses on and a baseball cap, and the hat's got the numbers 4547 on it.
Okay.
Now, some people are saying it might be last name redacted, but we're not going to speculate on that here.
Right.
The real story is how this one picture, it just sparks this avalanche of different theories.
It's like throwing a match on a pile of gasoline.
Yeah.
It explodes.
And some are totally out there, and some are kind of surprisingly, like,
Insightful.
insightful.
You know, you never know what you're going to get with these things.
I really don't.
It's like, it really is like a blank canvas.
Totally.
And each user is just kind of projecting their own interpretations,
Yeah.
drawing connections, weaving narratives.
It's like that cloud watching game, where you look up and see like different shapes.
Right, exactly.
Everyone brings their own kind of like baggage to the party, their own ideas about the world.
Your own lens.
And that's what makes it so interesting, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
So, like, for example, there's this one user, rhymes with burple. This person goes all in, suggests that this woman in the photo is actually a body double.
Oh, wow.
And that the real last name redacted is actually off in Ukraine, like working as an assassin.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
That's a new one.
It's wild, right?
It's fascinating how they weave in, like, the conflict in Ukraine,
Yeah,
like a plot point into their own personal narrative.
totally.
It highlights how conspiracy theories, they often blend together, like real world events with these fictional elements
Yeah.
to create, like, these elaborate kind of stories.
Yeah, it's not even just about creating a story, though. It's like they're trying to solve a puzzle.
That's a good way to put it.
Connect the dots in a way that makes sense to them,
Yeah.
even if it just seems wild to everyone else.
Even if it seems completely implausible to, like, the outside observer.
Totally. And so then you have another user, Flashy Contract 8147, who sees those numbers 4547 on the hat and jumps straight to, like, a meteor impact.
Oh, wow.
They're convinced it's some kind of, like, a countdown, like...
Like, the end of the world is coming.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, my gosh.
It's crazy, right?
It really is, but it speaks to that human tendency we all have.
Okay.
That pattern recognition.
Hell yeah.
We're hardwired to look for patterns and try to, like, find meaning.
Right.
Even if it's in random numbers.
Yeah.
On a hat.
Absolutely.
So this user sees the numbers and their mind is just like
Going into overdrive.
going into overdrive. Exactly. Trying to fit it into some larger,
Yeah.
potentially, catastrophic event.
Right. Right.
It's the end of the world.
And it's not all doom and gloom, though.
Yeah.
Some of the comments are actually hilarious.
Oh, really?
Yeah, people are comparing the woman to everyone from Sonya Blade from Mortal Kombat to Sarah Connor from Terminator. It's like...
So they're playing into the whole, like, Mortal Kombat thing from the title?
It's great.
I love that. That's hilarious.
Right.
Those pop culture references, I think, are a perfect example
Yeah.
of how these communities use humor
Yeah.
and this kind of shared cultural, like, touchstones
Right.
to build a sense of camaraderie.
Totally.
It's not even just about the conspiracy theories themselves.
Right.
It's about connecting with other people
Right.
who share your sense of humor and, let's say, your unique perspective on the world.
It's like this weird, like, mixture of, like, serious speculation and
Yes.
inside jokes.
Yeah.
And it works because it makes you feel like you're a part of something.
But you're in the know.
Like you're in on the secret, even if the secret is that this woman in the photo is just, trying to avoid the paparazzi, which is what another user, Hilarious Betrue, suggests.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
so you have, that more grounded perspective coming in as well. Like, hey,
Maybe it's not that deep.
maybe it's not that deep. Yeah.
Maybe she's just trying to, live her life.
Exactly.
And then you have, Kaching 801, who thinks she might be hiding recent plastic surgery.
Boy.
And Casio Ashanis T200 chimes in with, yeah, she looks like a cat lizard.
Oh, my goodness.
Keeping it classy.
Keeping it classy, yeah, that's the other side of the coin.
Yeah.
Right, where you have, that snark,
Yeah.
that judgment that can sometimes creep into these spaces.
Right.
It's a good reminder that online communities, even if they are dedicated to, questioning the official narrative, can still fall prey to the
Yeah.
same kind of, negativity and personal attacks
Totally.
that you see in other parts of the internet.
Which I think is a good place to, pause and reflect,
Yeah.
We've got, users dissecting an image. They're building elaborate stories.
Yeah.
They're joking around. Sometimes they're getting snarky. What does this all tell us?
Right.
What's the deeper meaning here?
Yeah, it's a lot to unpack.
It is a lot to unpack.
But I think there's some really interesting stuff here.
Totally.
I think it says a lot about how we try to, make sense of the world around us.
Mm-hmm.
We as humans, we crave narratives, explanations,
Yeah.
even if those explanations venture into the, unconventional or the
unknown.
unknown, exactly.
Yeah, it's like everyone's trying to find their own version of the truth. And
Yeah.
in these communities, they can connect with other people who are on that same search,
Exactly. It's like a shared quest for,
Yeah.
understanding, or at least, an explanation that fits their worldview.
Yeah, and this particular thread, it gets even more interesting when you consider, the role of the moderator.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
So jock theories, they're not just, passively moderating.
Right.
They're, actively engaging with these users.
Oh, wow.
Almost like a game master in a role-playing game,
They're creating the story along with them.
Yeah, exactly.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So, when Flashy Contract 8147 suggested that the numbers on the hat were a countdown,
Mm-hmm.
Jock Theories jumps in, says, nope, that's her Mortal Kombat record. 45 wins, 47 fights, 0 losses.
Oh, my gosh. I love that.
They're creating this whole alternate reality
Right.
within the forum, and everyone's kind of playing along. It's
Mm-hmm.
like collaborative storytelling, but real time.
That's awesome with a conspiracy
A
twist.
conspiracy twist, exactly.
It speaks to the power of these communities to foster this shared experience,
Yeah.
even if the experience is built around speculation and, let's be honest, a little bit of fantasy.
A little bit of fantasy. Yeah, totally.
That's fun,
It is fun. Okay, so we've got these wild theories. We got the pop culture references.
Mhm.
We got a moderator who's clearly having a blast.
Yeah.
But there's also a more serious side to all of this, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's easy to get caught up in the entertainment aspect of it,
Right.
but we can't ignore the fact that a lot of these theories,
Yeah.
they stem from a distrust of traditional information sources.
It's almost like they're saying,
Mm-hmm.
I don't trust what I'm being told.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go out and find my own answers, even if it means
Right.
secret societies, lizard people, whatever.
Yeah. That's where it gets a little tricky.
Right.
Because while healthy skepticism is always a good thing,
Yeah.
it can easily become,
Yeah.
a slippery slope into just outright denial of facts and evidence.
It's like finding that balance.
Finding that balance. Exactly.
Right. Questioning everything, but also being critical
Yes.
of the information that you're taking in,
Being discerning.
not just blindly accepting everything,
Exactly. Yeah.
especially online.
Especially online. And that's something that we all struggle with these days.
Absolutely.
Where information spreads so quickly.
Right.
It's like, how do you even know what to believe anymore?
Right. And so as we move into this final part of this deep dive,
Okay.
I'm really curious to hear, your thoughts on what we've uncovered so far.
Yeah.
What does this blend of entertainment and speculation and distrust
Right.
tell us about the people in this community and maybe even about ourselves?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think it's a reflection of our times in a lot of ways.
It's like we've been peeking through a keyhole, into this world where anything's possible.
Yeah.
Where those numbers on a hat, it could be a meteor strike.
Right.
Or, just someone's Mortal Kombat score.
Or someone's high score. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
It's amazing.
And what's so fascinating to me is that this world, this community,
Mm-hmm.
it's not some isolated bubble, It
Yeah.
actually reflects a lot of the anxieties and trends that we see in society as a whole.
It really does. I think you're right.
It's not just, a few people on Reddit. It's like this...
It's a much broader...
Yeah, like this wider feeling of distrust,
Yeah.
In authority, this search for alternative narratives.
This need to, like, find your own truth.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if it means going against the grain.
It's almost like a coping mechanism,
I think so.
for, like, the information overload that we're all facing every single day.
Right, it's overwhelming.
The world feels chaotic.
Absolutely.
So you create your own narrative.
Right.
A story that makes sense to you.
Right.
Even if it involves,
Conspiracies. Right.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into this corner of the internet, like, where does this leave us?
That's the big question, right?
What's, like, the takeaway for you and for our listener who's been, patiently following along with us?
I think the main thing is that we all have a responsibility, when it comes to navigating the crazy world of information out there.
It is a crazy world.
We need to be critical thinkers.
Yeah.
Aware of our own biases and open to different perspectives.
Yeah.
Even if they challenge our own beliefs.
Right. Even if it makes us uncomfortable.
Exactly.
So whether you're, wearing a tinfoil hat,
right,
or raising a skeptical eyebrow, the important thing is to stay curious, keep asking questions.
Never stop learning.
And never stop, seeking the truth wherever it might lead. And maybe, have a little fun along the way.
Have a little fun. Why not?
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the wild world of online conspiracy theories.
It's been a pleasure.
Until next time, keep exploring.